Is this just me, or did it feel like this chapter totally would have been way more feeling in terms of like, oh, I would have really, enjoyed it if it would have actually came out on Christmas. Like, don't get me wrong, a Christmas chapter can come out whatever, it's manga, it's their verse or whatnot. But I would have loved this chapter around Christmas time because it really had that Christmas vibe. They all just in the holiday spirit. Who knows? Maybe Horikoshi had plans to have this chapter come out at a later time, but due to maybe he had to wrap up an arc earlier, maybe the villains arc, the League of Villains had to wrap up. Which I ain't gonna lie, chapters like this, it makes me really, really miss what we had going on. We had a good thing. We had a really good thing going on with the League of Villains, and now there's a lot to say, so I guess let's talk about it. Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like I said, this chapter, very Christmassy. Obviously, they're in the Christmas spirit with this one, but it opens up with the teachers talking about basically the thing that we had from the last one, or where the last chapter left off, in terms of internships are starting. We got the internship starting again, but there's more to it. This chapter was 100% set up with some fluff in there. I'm not gonna lie, there was a few pages I'm like, okay, they're opening gifts, woohoo, whatever, but it was definitely set up for the future of what's to come, because the teachers are sitting around from UA and they're talking about, so the higher ups from the public safety committee or whatever, which I thought like UA was high up there, but I guess obviously there's people that govern them or whatnot, are forcing the internships this time around. Like last time it was they were just testing the waters. This time it's a mandatory thing, and if you look at it, there's a lot of lies, and it is what it is. I guess you got to protect the students or whatever, but it just shows politics as usual. It's like, so the public safety people are lying, saying, hey, yeah, we just want internships, which in reality, based on what the teachers were coming to, is like, nah, y'all need these students right now, despite, so there's just so much lies. So like the public believes that they have a surplus. They're just, oozing with so many heroes. It's oversaturated. They're telling the teachers that like, hey, we just want to do these internships, make it a mandatory thing. It's like, whatever. Then the teachers even lie to the students, and they're going to say like it's a winter assignment. So politics as usual, showing that, yeah, a lot of lying going on, even from the teachers that you trust. But also it showcases that the higher ups, again, the public safety committee, that they're looking at it like they know what's up. They know more than what they're leading on. They allow the BS from the news to come out and say like, yeah, the civilians turned into basically heroes and they stopped this league or whatever. But no, they know exactly what's going on, because why else would they really push to have more people in place to help out? They know that at the end of the day, what's going on with the League of Villains. On top of that, wasn't the Liberation Army like connected somehow to like some higher ups and good people, whatever? So they probably know more or less exactly what's going on. I think it's stupid of them, to be honest with you. Very, very dumb to not collaborate with UA. I mean, UA, the teachers alone, Aizawa Sensei, all of them together would be great additions to helping out if something was to happen from this super group that has been formed. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're lying to the teachers and the teachers are lying to the students, leaving everyone uninformed, is dumb. Like, yeah, okay, you don't want to scare the kids or whatever, but these are some brave kids, especially the kids from class 1A. They're brave. They're not going to get scared hearing like, oh, Shigaraki. Like, yeah, they might even, yeah, you know what? They might get a little intimidated or whatever, but it's better that they know. It's better that the teachers know exactly what they're up against. So, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, hasn't UA been invaded already a couple different times? What if they get invaded by the super group and they're not prepared? They're not ready. I mean, it's a little bit and then in the end, the mouse, which forgive me, I can't remember his name, but the principal basically tells Aizawa Sensei, oh yeah, and about that other program. Now I don't know if that was just a throwaway line or there's something else going on there. Usually lines like that, it's a setup. So maybe they have an extra program that's going on that maybe one or two of the students is going to participate in, and it'll be a build up. I feel as though that line wasn't a complete throwaway. Maybe it was foreshadowing for something else, because it just seemed a little more important that it was like, oh, let's throw that real quick before we transfer from the scenes with the teachers back to the students. And then speaking of, when it went, because now, it said it's been 4 months since they moved into the dorms. There hasn't been any funny business. So they're arguing that maybe there is no spy with the students or whatever. Or it could be a really good spy. And I forgot, up until this point, I forgot that there was a spy, because obviously I read a lot of manga as well, and there was spies and other stories that already got revealed. I forgot that there's a spy, and we don't know at this particular point who it is. I forgot exactly who the fandom really thought it was, but whoever the spy is, the mole, whoever, they're probably not going to reveal their true colors if they're really trying to participate and do whatever it is. 4 months, you know what I'm saying, of hiding, yeah, okay, I'm a regular student, but the moment they get the opportunity to strike, then it's gonna be on and popping. But honestly, it totally slipped. I'm glad that they reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, there is supposed to be a spy, isn't there? And then I was a little bit confused, I'm not even gonna lie, when All Might looked at the portrait and they said, hey, you forgot what today is? And he was looking a little sad. Was it like Night Eye's funeral, or was it the anniversary of a death, or were they just referring to that it's Christmas? Because he looked a little sad when he stared at the portrait. So that was something that kind of threw me off. Was it that I can't remember, did Night Eye already have his funeral? It might have been that he already had his funeral, or maybe it's the an anniversary of his death, or maybe it was his birth, something there. It was really interesting. Like, there was a lot of small subtleties with this chapter that it was kind of like, if you missed it, you missed it. And it's so obvious what's going on. Even students kind of feel it. They're like, wow, this is the most rush year ever. Like, you know, these cramming. Once again, we're doing internships. I'm half and half with the internships. I mean, I'll take the internships over like another training thing. Like, I'm kind of sick to death of like those, hey, class participation, you know, training, whatever. Like, no. I'll take the internships over that. Wasn't when the internships went down, wasn't that like when the Stain arc happened, if I'm not mistaken? So I'll take the internships. Yeah, let's get them on the field or whatever, opposed to just being in the school building. But again, it's very obvious that the adults are pulling the wool over the children's eye, and they could see it. And I like the way the chapter, I guess, moved things along in terms of, okay, we can't recover, because it would be boring. Like, if it was just, okay, Deku's going back with Grant. Obviously, you can't go back with Night Eye because Night Eye's not there. And then we had the excuse of Centipeder took over, but, you know, he has too much work. Like, I really wouldn't want to see, like, we already covered those grounds. If we're going to do that over again, it's like, it'd be boring. Like, oh, he's going back to Night Eye's office, and Night Eye ain't even there anymore. So what fun we're really going to have? Gran Torino, wasn't really a big fan of that, honestly. Like, it taught Deku some things, so it was good in terms of character development, but I didn't want to see Deku with Gran Torino again. Been there, done that. So it was nice the way it flowed to get to the overall ending. Likewise with Bakugou can't go with Genius, which I wonder if Horikoshi planned all of that. Like, he was like, okay, let me get, because he could have, you know, with Hawks, he could have him kill, I'm gonna say quote unquote kill, because we don't really know if it's true or not, if that's even Genius or he's part of the plan, pretending to be dead or whatever. But he could have killed any other hero or killed off any other hero, but instead he picked Genius, which was Bakugou's internship. So it seems as though potentially Horikoshi knew that he wanted to do what is being set up at the end to be done regarding Bakugou, Deku, and Todoroki. Makes kind of sense, and honestly, it gives, I gotta give the credit to Horikoshi. If that was planned, like, okay, Night Eye is gone, Genius, next one, they both don't have a place to go back, which I wouldn't want them to recover that ground anyway. And hopefully after this upcoming arc, because it seems as though it's been set up for the ending of a lot of things, like last week's chapter as well felt like it was setting things up for the end of this arc. Bakugou with the nickname, him, you know, the flashback of Genius talking about, like, you know, you got to come up with a better nickname, stop thinking about murder this and murder that. Bakugou maybe by the end of all this is going to have a really bomb-ass name or superhero name or whatever. You know, aside from just, hey, it's Bakugou, King of Explodo Murder Kills, you know what I'm saying? Some of the adorable parts of the chapter, like, I'm not totally, like, you know, I ain't cold-hearted now. Eddie, when she showed up, she was like trick-or-treat and looking and confused, and then at one given point, I think she said something about, like, Easter eggs or some shit like that. Like, Eddie, adorable. Really cool that they put her in there. Again, like, there was a lot of the chapter felt like fluff, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the Christmas stuff in general, like, which some manga, they handle Christmas chapters very well. Tokyo Ghoul-ri, I remember, oh man, that Christmas chapter really had me. But, you know, the Christmas chapter in this one, it was okay. I think Eddie, seeing that her horn got longer, again, they described like, oh, it's gotten even longer. So I think that she's also going to play another part in all this. Maybe by the end of all this, Togata might get his powers back, because they also brought up, hey, where's Togata? He's with his classmates or whatever. So maybe by the end of all this, Eddie might finally give him back his powers, which is long overdue. Like, it was quite a few arcs ago that overhaul thing happened and he lost his powers. Maybe by the end of all this, as her horn is getting longer, she'll be able to give him his powers back, or something crazy is going to happen and somebody else might, well, I don't think they'll allow anybody else to lose their powers, but maybe it could be that he's going to get his powers back, and that's why it was hinted that her horn is getting even longer, something might happen. And then of course the end of the chapter where Todoroki approached Bakugou and Deku and was like, yo, if y'all both don't got nowhere to go, why don't y'all come to the #1 endeavor with me? It's going to be very, very interesting if that goes like that, because one, we got on one side, Deku, that is a very big scaredy cat. He'll be scared to death of Endeavor, to be honest with you. Getting trained by him, he'd be like Todoroki, that's his pop. So, you know, he has his issues with him, but it's whatever. He's already used to it. Deku will be scared to death of dude. Bakugou and Endeavor, I want to see that interaction so bad, because Bakugou is basically like a little Endeavor. He has a very bad attitude. He's very angry about everything. That'll be classic to see. Like, I guess in a way, it won't help Bakugou with the interviews, or maybe it will. Maybe he'll be like, damn, Endeavor's such a dick. Like, yo, I don't want to be anything like him. And when they go for interviews at the end of this upcoming arc, whatever happens, maybe he'll be like, nah, let me just be a little bit nicer. Or either way, to see them clash is going to be freaking insane. It's going to be freaking awesome to see that. And keeping together three of the, you know, they're like the big three of this manga, you know what I'm saying? So keeping them together will be freaking awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Overall, the chapter, I'm not even going to front. Setup, but it wasn't the greatest chapter in the world. It really made me miss the villain arc where every chapter was absolutely insane. This was important setup because, again, it's like, okay, we know where we're going now, the internships, we know who's going to be for the most part. A lot of people are going to be revisiting stuff, but the main three, they're not revisiting, so it's going to be a little bit fresh, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I'm just curious if they're going to immediately throw us back into seeing the League of Villains or whatever the heck they're called nowadays, because it's like, I think the threat that we should face during the internships maybe shouldn't be them, or not them as a collective, because I want to see Deku master a couple more quirks before he has to go up against Shigaraki, Gigantomachia, and all of, you know what I'm saying, the Liberation Army. Like, I don't want to just see immediately them have that. Don't get me wrong, it'd be instant gratification, but I think it'd be better if we either have like a separate threat starts to show up, or some of the villains that were locked up get freed, something crazy like that, before we just immediately see a big clash, because it seems as though that could be a really big endgame battle with Shigaraki and his army versus Deku and them. And Deku right now, he only got blue, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't do too much of shit, so kind of gotta wait and see. I'm curious what you guys thought about this chapter though. How do you feel? Again, felt like a lot of fluff with the Christmas stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Eddie, you know, it was cute or whatever, but a lot of this chapter set up and just kind of like, it's Christmas, whatever. So I wasn't too thrilled. The end of the chapter was the most important part, setting up that we're gonna have the big, most popular three characters potentially interning with Endeavor, and that's going to be interesting to see their interactions. We know how Todoroki is, of course, that's his pops, but I want to see Bakugou and him clash so bad. I'm so excited for that. And overall thoughts and expectations for this upcoming Internships Part 2 arc. I mean, I'm glad they're not doing just a boring training in, you know, the school again. They're going to be out in the field. Things might get real, and who knows what's going to happen. Maybe small pieces of the League of Villains' new army might start attacking and lead into something else. I don't know. Or maybe Machia might just start bulldozing through the town, and we're going to just get real really quick. And your overall thoughts and expectations from My Hero Academia from chapter 243 and beyond. Looking forward to seeing them making moves. Again, chapter really wasn't all that. It was an okay-ish chapter, but the setup was pretty strong. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. Make sure you hit all notifications so you don't miss out on a single My Hero Academia video or any video that is of interest to you that I publish. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links, of course, in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day, and remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope